Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunset Valley. So today we're actually doing Barbie's house. Yes, Barbie is super popular this week. The movie is just released, it's doing very well in the theaters. Honestly, it feels like Barbie is like bringing people back to the movie theater, like people who weren't really going before. And I thought, you know what, The Sims 3 is probably the best Sims game to do a Barbie house. So I think I'm just gonna add it into my Sunset Valley. There's already a few ridiculous builds in my Sunset Valley anyway, but yeah, so this is actually like the Langerak house, and I didn't really realize that when I started this build. I never play with the Langeraks in Sunset Valley. I just assumed that this house was one of the empty ones because it's so big and ugly, but if I think back, I do remember reviewing this house, which meant there was a family living in it. So anyway, I'm just gonna move the Langeraks to one of the big empty houses in Sunset Valley. There's a few of them that I didn't really know what to do with, so at least if I move the Langeraks in, then I'll have like a reference point and then I'll have like certain things to aim for. Anyway, back to the Barbie house. So like what I'm doing now is just figuring out which pinks I want to use. So I know that this house is going to be like top to bottom in pink. And with Create a Style, you could probably end up doing like thousands of other pinks by accident. So I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to pick like certain pinks and just kind of repeat them throughout the whole build. So I found like a dark pink. I found a pink that was almost white. I found a couple in the middle, and then I just kind of saved those swatches and copied them to everything else. So as you can see, I kind of have the shell more or less figured out. I'm just trying out the different pinks, figuring out like where do I want everything. Because as much as I love pink and as much as Barbie loves pink, like it's really easy for something like this to go really tacky. And I'm not saying it doesn't turn out tacky, because mine pretty much did in the end, but like you still want it to have like a little bit of realism. And I don't mean realism like a real house. So like what I was trying to aim for was like a real life dollhouse. And in a real life dollhouse, like the sides are kind of open, like you stick your hands in to kind of play with the dolls. So I made most of the windows just kind of floor to ceiling throughout the whole build. Almost like it's different rooms inside of the dollhouse, right? I don't know if it makes sense now, but it'll make sense in a little bit. Even from this view, you can kind of see what I'm going for. And I also thought like most Barbie dream houses that I've seen have more of a modern twist to them. They're not like old fashioned and Victorian, like they're very like boxy, and they have like different levels and different platforms. The one that was popular when I was growing up in the 90s, it even had like an elevator for Barbie. So I ended up adding that in too, but we'll get to that a little bit later. I'm just using some traditional modern details that I would use in any other Sunset Valley house. And in fact, I kind of chose this house because it's kind of around other modern houses. You know, I went on a stint where I was doing a bunch of houses in that style. So I thought, you know what, this is probably the best place for it. And this is almost at the edge of the map too. So for a house that's this loud and outlandish, then you don't necessarily have to see it every day if you strategically place your sim. The other thing I'm doing is getting rid of a lot of the landscaping. Like landscaping for the most part in The Sims 3, you cannot change with Create a Style, and most of it is green, which is great for most houses, but not for the Barbie house. Like for the Barbie house, I'm thinking I want all pink, and then I'm just gonna accent it with like watery blue. Because I know most Barbie dream houses have a pool. This house already has a pool. So I just thought, you know what, pink and blue, like that's enough color. And this is where I start to get a little bit more creative liberty. So as you know, most of this save file is completely base game. And like all of the houses, even if I use an expansion pack item or two, the house is still gonna work with just the base game. But for this house, you're kind of gonna need Into the Future. I thought, you know what, the Into the Future stuff is just too perfect for this. It's very plasticky and like metallic, like it looks almost like a toy, right? So that whole aesthetic just worked throughout the whole house. So that's where I got a lot of the windows, and I got the elevator and stuff, right? Because like the other elevators were just too old-fashioned for Barbie's dream house. I know I keep talking about the elevator in the dream house, but that just blows my mind. Like I think having an elevator in your house, like not your apartment building, but like in your house, like that's very ritzy. And I would love to have an elevator in my dream house. Now, see, the thing is with Barbie's elevator, unfortunately, Share a Smile Becky, she's the Barbie who uses a wheelchair. Her wheelchair does not fit into the elevator. So Barbie's dream house is not accessible for her friend. I don't know why I know that. I just remember that from like ages ago. See, the thing is that Barbie controversies like used to be a hot topic. Late 90s, early 2000s, like Barbie would make some questionable decisions in terms of PR, and then it would end up in magazines. Like I remember like an Oreo Barbie. I remember like a teen pregnant Barbie. I don't think they said she was a teen, but it was like highly implied. Anyway, I don't want to get into it because I don't want to get canceled for a Barbie video. So as long as the alt-right doesn't see this, I should be fine. Looking at the build, it's pretty much speaking for itself. As I said, I'm just copying the pinks everywhere. So why don't I just talk a little bit about my history with Barbie? I was never huge into Barbie, and I don't think I owned like any actual Barbie toys, but I did like to play with Barbie whenever it was like accessible to me. So if I was at like a friend's house or like a family thing and there was just like random toys around when I was little, like I would like to play with Barbie then. Because usually in those circumstances, it was like Tonka trucks or Barbie. And in that situation, like I just have to pick Barbie. It's more fun, there's more things to do. It's like playing The Sims in real real life, but I guess I was 3. But yeah, speaking of like the girls versus boy toys thing, like I was very much interested in both. Like I didn't really think about that. I just played with whatever I wanted to. So in a circumstance where it was like Tonka trucks versus Barbie, of course I'm gonna pick Barbie. But if it's dinosaurs versus Barbie, I probably would have picked the dinosaurs. Like I love dinosaurs, especially when I was a kid, and anything with like outer space, like planets, aliens, anything like that. But that's not to say that I didn't have experience with fashion dolls. So I definitely played with like the Sailor Moon dolls and the Spice Girl dolls. Those were dolls I had, which is basically the same concept. Like you dress them up, like you play with them or whatever. So like the Sailor Moon dolls, I would pretend like they were fighting things, and the Spice Girls I would like set up for concerts and like play the cassette tape near them in my ghetto blaster. Oh my god, I don't want to date myself too much, but yeah, that was pretty much one of my favorite things to do. But I never had doll houses or anything for them, and like housing floor plans and stuff are things that I've always been interested in. Like I used to have these vivid dreams when I was like younger, especially as a teenager, like going through these massive mansions with like secret passages and everything. So maybe I should have played with Barbie a little bit more when I was a kid, but you know what? It was just something that like I never really got around to. Now, my family is the kind of family that would have bought me Barbie if I asked for it. Like I'm also like an only child too, so it's like what you see is what you get with me. But yeah, like since I had the Sailor Moon dolls and I had the Spice Girl dolls, like I could have gotten Barbie if I wanted to. I guess it just wasn't really my prerogative. But now it is my prerogative because like as we're finishing up the downstairs, like this build is turning into exactly what I wanted it to turn into. I wanted to do like a giant pink Barbie house, and I didn't want it to be super ugly. I wanted it to look like a Barbie house. And now that I'm like taking a step back and seeing it for like kind of like what it is, it's exactly what I wanted. Now I know it's turning into a little bit of an ABC floor plan, but I thought if I made it, like it's already busy enough with the colors, if I make it too busy with the floor plan, then it's gonna be too much. So I sectioned everything off with like these square and rectangle rugs, just so that way it's like, here's the living room, here's the dining room, here's the kitchen. But I left the floor plan completely open except for the bathroom, because again, I wanted that thing where like you feel like you're putting your hands inside to like play with the dolls. And you know me, I have to check the night colors too. So as you put on night mode, like all of your lamps light up and everything, then you can figure out exactly like where you want to put all your lights and like where all the shadows are gonna hit. I know I mentioned this in every video, but this is a great example for it. Like stop using like complete ceiling lights. Like it's just too boring. It's too flat. It's too predictable. Like it works for like certain things, like especially if you're just doing like a starter house and like gameplay and like you just want to see everything, that's fine. But if you're going for like an actual like mood or vibe, like toning down lighting can really help. Now the way you do this really depends on like your game, because if you have a lighting mod installed, obviously lighting is going to look a little bit different. And if you don't use a lighting mod, then you probably do want the ceiling lights, because when you don't have one, the game can look pretty dark. It really just depends on your preference, and honestly my preference changes depending on what I'm doing in The Sims, and right now I'm doing the Barbie house, so I want everything bright and pink. I know in The Sims 4 you can change the color of the lights and stuff, and I've tried that before, but it never really looks good. Again, you can't actually pick the color, you can only pick from preset swatches, and you know how I feel about swatches limiting you. But yeah, so we're moving on to the upstairs, and again, I thought I would just keep with that same theme of a big open floor plan. This is her bedroom. Like she'll have a walk-in closet in a minute and stuff, but I didn't want to like section off like different bedrooms or anything. At the end of the day, Barbie's the only one who's gonna live here. Ken can pay his own rent as far as I'm concerned. So I thought big open lofted bedroom, like little sectioned off walk-in closet, and again, I just kind of separated out the bathroom. And looking back, I wasn't really thinking like too much in terms of like how is this gonna play or anything, but this house is like super functional. The stairs are in the middle, there's a bathroom at either end of the house, the routing is gonna be good. I hope having the elevator and the stairs next to each other doesn't cause any problems, but I guess we'll see. And decorating the upstairs is a lot easier than decorating the downstairs, because like I don't really have to think about what I'm gonna do. I already have my pink sorted out, so I just start copying things like the rugs, the toilet, the bathtub. Oh, I can see I've added in the walk-in closet now, so I'm still doing some lighting and whatnot, but I really wanted a walk-in closet, and I really wanted it to look like Barbie. And the way I did that is like, you know, like when you're in the store and like you're shopping for Barbies and like they have the clear cellophane front or whatever where like you can see into the box, almost like you can touch Barbie, but you can't because it's plastic. So that's kind of what I wanted for the closet. So you'll see in a bit that I put like clear windows and I put these like mannequins inside with different outfits on, so it's almost like she's walking through a store trying to pick out her own Barbie outfit. I don't know, I thought it was cute, but right now I'm just throwing pink lights all over the place, and I guess we'll get to the walk-in closet in a bit. See, this is the thing, I lack a lot of focus when I'm doing this, so sometimes I'm in the middle of doing something or talking about something in the speed build, and then it'll just switch randomly. So the way this happens, like for example, like I needed one light for this walk-in closet, so I went downstairs to like copy one of the lights, and then when I went downstairs, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna relight this whole thing. So that's what I ended up doing. I put lights lights like all over the place. And then like I worked my way back upstairs and I was like, oh right, I was doing the walk-in closet. We can see that the ensuite bathroom is nearly finished. I'm just doing little bits of decoration. It was hard for me to decorate with some of the clutter because you can't actually change the colors of some of the clutter. Like the toilet paper roll, like the makeup set or whatever, like those things are always black or always white. So I didn't want anything that wasn't pink in the build unless it was really, really small. So I left a few creative liberties, but there's only a couple plants in the game that are actually pink without much green. So that did limit me, but I ended up putting it all over the build too. And I'm excited to kind of show you the landscaping. The landscaping is coming up in a little bit because I thought, how am I going to do this without trees? But I guess we'll see in a bit. But right now I'm doing the walk-in shower. So this worked out perfectly too. Remember how I mentioned how this build has a lot of into the future stuff? Well, the into the future shower was perfect for this because it's like barely anything. It's like it's almost flat against the wall, which is exactly what I'm going for. Oh my goodness, I even put a foosball table in the build. Now the only reason I did this is because I needed a big fun group activity for the house and I needed it to match the color scheme. So, and like that thing just like lit up with Barbie pink already. So I thought, you know what, it's a sign. But yeah, so this is the closet I was talking about. So it's like she walks through there and then she can see all these different dresses or whatever. I didn't spend too much time on the dresses. If you actually pay attention, I'm randomizing the swatches for the dresses. So I was just randomizing them until I got a pattern that I thought was appropriate. And then I just changed it to one of the pinks I was using. Okay, so here we are. We're moving on to the actual landscaping. And I thought in real life, how is this going to be landscaped? It's going to be like a big plastic house on a big plastic platform. So for the ground, I did pretend it was almost like a plastic plate because that's the vibe of Barbie's house as far as I'm concerned. I added a few things to the outside and I also took a couple things away, but like what I'm really focusing on is getting the pool and the garage sorted out. So this house had one of those lazy EA garages where it's just like a little bit of like a carport on the side of the house. No door, no constrained floor elevation or none of that. And I thought the pool's a really ugly shape too. So I thought, okay, let's just like balance out the pool a little bit. We'll make it Barbie pink. And then when I got the blue of the pool, see, I was thinking of maybe making the pool pink, but in the new Barbie movie, she has a pool and it's in that exact same shade of blue. So I thought, okay, I'm going to use that for the pool. And then once I found this terrain paint, I thought, you know what, let's just go all out because the pool in the movie is actually fake. Like you can walk on it. So most of this water is the same. It's just the ground that looks like pool water, but I still left the pool in the back for like functionality and everything, right? Okay, now we're finally lighting the outside. So I just went all out with this because this is Barbie's dream house. And sometimes when I decorate and I do like lots of lighting outside, I go a little bit too far. Like I'll put 75 lights when I should have really only put 5 or 6. But I thought, you know what, for Barbie's house, 75 sounds good to me. So I thought I'm gonna light up every pool ladder. I'm gonna light up each door and gate. You can see I did a carport there. I gave her 6 dream cars. I didn't know which one she wanted, so I just mixed it up a little bit. And since Barbie is very 50s, this house has like little mid-century vibes, and I thought like the little carport almost gives you like drive-in vibes. I don't know, it was hard to figure out a garage for Barbie's dream house, and that's just what I came up with. So you can let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below, I guess. But as we can see, I'm kind of getting close to the end of the build here. I think I sneak in a hot tub or a few other things, but I think it's gone on long enough. So why don't we jump into Barbie's dream house and I'll give you the grand tour. See you there. And welcome to my rendition of Barbie's dream house. Honestly, I know it's just for fun, but I really like it. This was so much fun to do. Like you never get to do anything this fun in The Sims 4. I really like how the pinks turned out. I love the way the sun is hitting it. It's the perfect time of day for this lot. I really enjoy the parking spaces and everything. Like I'm really not into cars or anything, but I think Barbie would be. So I gave her a bunch of pink cars. No two are alike. Back here we have the pool. I have the diving board, the pink ladders. I think it's perfect for Barbie's world. I also stuck a hot tub down here. I ended up with this weird platform thing. It used to have bushes in it, but I didn't think the bushes were very appropriate because they were green. Okay, before I go to the front door, I just want to point out that this is the part what I was talking about when like you just stick your hand in and play with Barbie. I made sure each room was accessible that way, and actually it looks kind of balanced too. That was a happy accident. Okay, let's just go inside the front. So as we go inside our super private front door, we have a nice little seating area here next to the kitchen. The kitchen looks very pink and plasticky. I kind of wanted it to look like easy bake oven-ish, you know, almost like pretend. I made the stove and the fridge this like really dark pink, but I made the microwave this light pink and white. And someone in my Discord said that that was really Barbie core, so I was proud of that. And if you look over the island here, there's lots of seating here. Barbie can have lots of friends over. She has bar seating, she has a dining room table. I was gonna give her a bar too, but I don't know how I feel about Barbie drinking. Barbie to me is still very like juvenile and childish, so I'd rather have her playing with toys or something, I think. I didn't put much else down here. Again, I wanted this to be very big and open and very functional. And as we come up the elevator, we're greeted with Barbie's pink bedroom. I just copied like the colors and the lamps and and stuff from downstairs. Like I said before, with a build like this, as it progresses, it actually gets easier because you can just steal your choices that you made already. And then coming through here, we have Barbie's dream closet. So here's the outfits I was talking about, where I wanted it to look like you were in a store and you're trying to pick out Barbie's outfit. Oh no, this one has skulls on it. I didn't even notice that. Oh no, this one has spiders. Oh my god. Okay, so like what I was doing was I was just randomizing patterns. So I just let the game pick it. And I was looking from far away, so I just turned it pink. Okay, so coming over here is like the games area. So I have like the stereo, the computer, which is good for fun or for building some skills, and we got the foosball table. You know I don't like foosball, but I thought it really suited the build. Like, look at this pink. This pink was exactly the same pink that I picked for other things, so I went for it. And coming into my favorite room, the master bathroom, we have our gorgeous tub here in the corner. Very private for the neighborhood. Over here, we have the vanity, the sink and everything. I gave her a big mirror. Oh no, I snuck in Katy Perry's Sweet Treats. I forgot I did that. I always like to sneak in one item per build, but in this build, it was a lot easier. I made the toilet pink, and then as we step around here, we have one of my walk-in showers. But it works a lot better with this Into the Future thing. I was so happy to be able to use something like this. So yeah, if you don't have Into the Future, there's gonna be a couple things missing, but I really thought that the sleek modern vibe went really well with the Barbie core pink. And just even looking around, I'm just very happy with it. It's exactly what I wanted, and I did want to do another fun build for Sunset Valley. If you've been keeping up with the series, I've been doing a lot of like very realistic things, trying to like make things a little bit more contemporary, but still kind of hold on to realism. And sometimes with The Sims, you just want to do something big and outlandish like this. But yeah, coming back outside, I adore it. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this house, or even if I wanted to leave it in the save file, but I absolutely am. Like, this is perfect. I'm just gonna move the Langarax into a different house. There's a few houses in Sunset Valley that I don't really have any ideas for, so that'll really help me. And if you look around, there's another super modern house just across the street, so it's still gonna kind of fit in with the world. The colors are gonna stand out, but at least the shape makes sense. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. Have you ever made a Sims house for Barbie, or have you ever played Barbie when you were a kid? I know for some people, Barbie was everything for them growing up, and it seems that she's still popular today. And as I'm wrapping up my conclusion, I'm just looking at some of my speed build notes, and I was gonna sing Aqua Barbie Girl for you. Well, it's good I forgot it, because nobody wants to hear that. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe for some more Sims content. Also, if you have any Barbie Sims on the exchange, can you leave a link for me in the comments down below? I tried to make a Barbie Sim for this, but it really wasn't working out, so I just thought, you know what, there's lots of people better at create a sim than me, so I'm just gonna ask. I really like how in The Sims 3 you can pick all sorts of different colors and you can get the face kind of just the way you like it. It's just I'm not very good at it. But yeah, as much as I like Barbie, I don't think Dethany really does. It's not really her style. She's kind of like the anti-Barbie, so why don't we get her out of here? And we'll see you in the next one. Boom.